Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys my updated foundation routine. I haven't done one in a really long time. Really long time. I wanted to show you guys basically everything that I talked about in my favorites video. I wanted to show you how I implement that in my foundation routine and the techniques that I talked about. And just so you guys can see the products in action too, of course, right? So, without further ado, if you want to know how I have updated my foundation routine, then just go ahead and keep on watching. So, I already got started on my eyes a little bit. So, the first thing I take when I'm doing like a full face application is, of course, a primer. Mind you, I've already prepped my skin and everything, so I have my moisturizer on already. So today I'm using the Cover FX Illuminating Primer, and I just take about a pea-sized amount of it. And this we're gonna apply all over the face. So I focus applying it on my cheeks first, and then with whatever is left over, I'll take a little bit and I'll place it on my forehead. So for my foundation, I'm taking the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation Stick, and I'm using the color Y335 or 127, whatever they go by now. And to apply this, I do about 2 swipes on the cheek and then a little small one on my chin. And you know, it's okay if you look a little crazy. I'm taking a damp beauty blender and I'm just gonna press this in. And I like this foundation when I tried it this weekend because it was super easy to apply, and on top of that, it gave really good coverage. So after my first layer, I like to kind of look at it, see where I need a little bit more coverage. So to me right now, I have a little blemish here, so I want to apply a little bit more foundation right there, and then just to kind of even it out, I'll put a little bit more on the other side. So that is what we'll do. And I didn't get a lot of any on my nose. Okay, that's about how much I'll do. The next step that I do in my foundation is my concealer, and I'm going to be using 2 concealers, but the first one that I'm going to be using is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, and this is in the color Light Neutral. I'm pretty generous with this when I apply it, and I lay it down in whatever shape you want to call that. With how much I've used of this and how long I've had it for, I bought this in November and it's March basically now and I still have it, so I feel like it lasts you a really long time. Okay, so just to even out the dimension, I start what looks like the top of a palm tree, and I'll bring it down a little bit down the bridge of my nose, on my chin, and on top of my lip. After doing that, I just tap in the concealer, just blend it. All I'm really doing is just tapping the beauty blender down. Same thing with the lip and the chin. And then same thing with the nose, just press it in. Don't really worry about moving it around, just press it in. And then I flip my hand around and I'll blend out the center of my forehead. I'm gonna go into my contour now, and my favorite cream to start like your cream contour with is by LA Girl, and this is the Pro Concealer in the shade Beautiful Bronze. So after the concealer, you're gonna take a little bit of your cream concealer. This is optional, you don't have to do this, you can just go in with like your powder contour and it gives the same look. So do one stripe, get it down on the other side, and then I like to put a little bit on the forehead. And you good, girl, you good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start to buff it out. But when you do this, make sure that you're not blending it too much below. Your focus wants to be with blending it above. Because when you blend it too far down, and this is a mistake I find a lot at the counter when girls come in and they're saying that their contour doesn't look good. The thing is, you want to blend the product as much as you can, like I'm saying, above your cheekbone more than you want to do it below. If you do it below, it defeats the purpose of a contour and it just looks like you had way too much fun with your bronzer and you just kind of slammed it all over your face. So try and focus it above your cheekbone as much as you can. It's basically how you want to buff it out. And if a fishy face helps you, do a fishy face, girl. Ain't nobody judging. So after that, I'll take whatever's left on my brush and I kind of just whisk it below my jaw. So everything's just nice and chiseled so you can kind of see what we're working with here. The only thing I've noticed with this concealer is that you kind of have to work quickly with it because it does dry. And same thing with the forehead. I'm just buffing the lines out. Before I set my concealer, I'm gonna take one more concealer. If I can find it here. Oh, it's outside, okay. So I'm going to take the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is in the shade Vanilla. If you've seen my Year Favorites video, you probably have seen these products before. So I'm gonna just apply, well, I'm not gonna just apply because I apply a lot. But that's basically the shape you want to get it in. I'm not bringing it too far in like I did the concealer. I'm mainly focusing it above my cheekbones. And then same place, you want to highlight it above the nose a little bit. I'm not taking it as high up this time though. Above the cheekbone and, not the cheekbone, above the lip and on the chin a little bit. Oh, and the forehead. Let me not forget that. Clearly I need to get my life together. And then same thing, take your beauty blender and just buff everything in. So now that we've done that, I'm going to take my Hoola bronzer. This is by Benefit, so it comes in a package that looks like this, and you can see how much I love this. Like, I've already hit pan on it. So I'm gonna take the same angled brush that I used to buff out the concealer, the bronzer, the contour, whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna lay this on top of the cream. So you see, it kind of just intensifies it a little bit more. So you can see the difference with this side and then this side right here. Just gives it that extra oomph. And then same thing with the forehead. Now, I do like to contour my nose a little bit, but mind you, this is just a little bit. I don't go, or I don't think I go ham with it. I'm going to take a tapered blending brush. This is by Sigma, and this is the E35 brush. I'm going to dip it into the Hoola that I was working with a second ago, and I'm going to take it on both sides of the nose. So that's on one side, and now I'm going to just take it slightly below. I mainly focus on getting it down first, and then because the brush was a little bit too big, you can kind of see it like went a little bit into my highlight. I'm going to go back into the blending brush now and just dab it on top. And I'm pressing it kind of all over just to help blend everything in. Okay. So before I set my concealer, I'm going to make sure that I go back in underneath my eye and I blend out all the creases. I'm going to be taking the RCMA No Color powder and dipping it into my beauty blender, or dipping my beauty blender into it. And I'm lightly just pressing this right on top. Going back to what I mentioned earlier, if you bring your contour too far down, what you can do is take a little bit of the powder and you're going to clean up the contour with it. This is just to chisel the shape out a little bit more. Setting the bridge of the nose, and I'm taking a little bit on the forehead here. So I'm going to go ahead and let that settle down a little bit. I'm going to finish up my eyes, and then I'll be right back to show you the blush that I like to use and everything of that sort. Okay, so I finished up my eyes. So what we're going to do now is just take a big brush. This is by Real Techniques, and it's the powder brush. And we're just going to nick off all the powder that we put on. Typically, I like to leave it in for about 5 minutes. Again, this doesn't really matter though, it's just the longer you leave it in, the better. Okay, so for my blush, I'm gonna take a mineralized blush. This is by MAC and it is called New Romance. It's more of a peachy shade, so just something that'll complement any lip that you put on. As of right now, this is currently my favorite brush for blush. This is by e.l.f. and it's called the Complexion Brush. So I'm just gonna lay a little bit on the belly of the brush, not getting it on the tip, just on the belly, and we're gonna lightly dust that right on top of the contour that we laid down. And it just leaves a really pretty iridescent glow, which is why I like this blush. Now what I'm gonna do for a little bit of a highlight, I'm gonna go in with the What's Up by Benefit cream highlighter. And I'm going to take a little bit on my ring finger, just warming the temperature of the stick up. And I'm going to lightly dab this right on top of my cheekbone here. The reason I'm using my ring finger is because the ring finger applies the less amount of pressure, and you don't want this to mess up the foundation and all the powder that we laid down on top of. Okay, sorry guys, my camera was being a little brat and was saying that the internal temperature was too high, so I had to stop for a little bit. So I just evened out the highlight on this side and filled in my eyebrows with the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the color, what color is this? Medium brown. Before I get started on my highlighter or everything, I like to set my makeup. So I'm going to take MAC's Fix Plus and just do like 3 squirts of that all over the skin. I'll let it dry up a little bit. And the reason I set my makeup before putting on my highlighting powder is because I feel like the powder sticks on a lot better as opposed to just like putting it on. I feel like when the foundation is too matte, it doesn't really pick up. So that's just my reasoning behind it. I'm gonna go in with the Gleam Glow Kit by Anastasia, and I'm gonna mix the colors Hard Candy and Crushed Pearl. So the top left and then the bottom right. And this is just gonna go right on top of where we place the Benefit What's Up cream highlighter. Because we want to be highlighted to the guys, okay? Not picking up Hard Candy, I'm just picking up Crushed Pearl. And I'm gonna dust this along the tip of my nose. And same thing, a little bit more Crushed Pearl. And that's going right on top of my Cupid's bow. Cupid's bow, yeah. I don't know why I had to double think that. So that's basically all of the makeup. So just using my Skindinavia, the makeup finishing spray. I'm not going back in with the Fix Plus because I want something that's gonna lock in the makeup. So I already feel like that one eliminated like that powdery look. So I like to use this one to literally lock everything in and just keep it in place. And the mist is a lot more fine. It doesn't go on like Fix Plus, so it puts it on a lot more like sparingly. So I have used this especially in my makeup kit, and it helps so much with how the makeup just wears throughout the day. I'm not kidding you, it will completely keep your skin matte. I'm not even playing. So just taking about 4 squirts, we're gonna do all over. Woo! I'm gonna go ahead and apply my lip on really quickly, and I will be right back. Alright everyone, so that basically concludes my makeup routine. I hope you like the updated version of it. Again, a lot has changed because my makeup routine has changed. So you're able to see how I use the items that I mentioned in my favorites 2 months ago. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Snapchat. My usernames will be listed down below for you guys to check out. And until next time guys, bye!